Good.
Hey, being filmed.
Interview with Nicole.
The optician pretty much told me not to brick up my grandma on my own because there's a chance that I would pick up the wrong elderly person.
So Jack, I'm going to stay quiet during this interview, so when you're chatting with her, just chat to her rather than looking into the camera.
Okay.
Only a little. How old are you, Joe?
11.
So I look at you.
Yeah, so we can just chat to me, which is great.
All right.
Perfect. It's going to be really casual interview, so we'll just have a conversation and just see how it goes.
Okay.
We'll go slow.
Okay.
It's just a chat, so you can direct everything to me.
Okay.
There's so much stuff that you could do, but you're just not old enough, or you're scared because your friends aren't there.
There's very little to do, and kids get bored and then turn to things which might be worse.
There's so many opportunities that I think I could do, but it's just there's nothing really here to do for me, so it's sort of lacking in a way.
So when I have my anxiety moments, it's usually because I'm not really used to, the environment around me, and it's kind of like a shock.
So I'm autistic and I am very depressed. Neither of which go very well together, and for about a year and a half, I had not been in school. I had just not been able to go.
So actually Nat had kind of withdrawn quite a lot, and so we were anxious that we wanted him to have some social activity and to put his intellect and creativity to use.
Jack is 11. We've had quite a lot of problems with Jack. Jack threatened to kill himself at the age of 9, threatened to throw himself off a 6-storey building while we were in Edinburgh. He'd been bullied for years, but I knew there was something wrong, but I didn't know what. We went to CAMS. CAMS couldn't help us. They're overstretched, which I get, but because he hadn't actually done anything, they couldn't help him. So I went down the autism route, and we have got a diagnosis for Jack a year later. To the day I got a diagnosis of autism with Jack, but he also has a mental age of 7. And trying to get help for him has been a nightmare.
The teachers did nothing about it, and the teacher that I had this year didn't even know what autism is. I don't have any friends.
What's school like?
It was bad. I was bullied there, and I got bit and called names.
He doesn't like going out, and when he is out, he wants to go home. Knowing that he wants friends but can't have them because he doesn't know how to make them, he's better with adults. He made friends with the cameraman by feeding him. We were lucky enough to find Escape2Make in an email, and Jack loved everything that he did.
I felt a lot safer than when I normally go out by myself, and I really didn't want to come. Then I got into it, and it was really awesome getting to know people my age and are nice to me and everything.
And this is how he got to become himself and do things and enjoy himself. And when he came back, he was smiling from ear to ear, and he was happy because he'd met other children that have issues, that have no hang-ups, that accept everybody.
I work for Lancashire County Council, and I help manage the youth services across the Lancaster district. There's so many other sports-based activities in Lancaster. So I was out when I was speaking to the young people and trying to get a lot of them into a sports-based programme. We would maybe speak to about 20 of them, and we'd maybe get 10 of them turn up on the door. And the other 10 wouldn't come because sports didn't interest them, but we didn't have anywhere to signpost them to because there was nothing creative. They all wanted creative things, they all wanted arts, and they weren't necessarily sports young people. So Escape2Make is really refreshing. We don't have any other creative projects, I don't think. If we can get children and young people to express themselves through art and creative work, we find that it increases their self-esteem a little bit, and it can increase their happiness levels, and they're engaging with young people and they're meeting new people, and all those kind of things we know increase self-esteem and create happier young people. And so getting them involved in these kind of projects before they become so far that they need interventions is really good, yeah.
School life is just that. It's just school life. Children don't have that after school thing where they get together And that is the sad thing. They don't get to know each other. All they know is we're doing this subject together and then we go to another class and they leave. They don't get to know, and the anxiety, our children suffer with anxiety, stresses. And this is the time that is actually shaping them. And there's nothing to shape them. So if they could go to school and do things weekends together like this, it'll encourage them, you know? I think Escape2Make is a life-changing concept. This is going to give children, it's almost going to blow life back into kids. It's going to make them want to do stuff, want to experiment, want to create. This is what we need for our kids. I remember what Wami's face was like when she came back after the first workshop. I was like, it was a different child. I got back a different child. She was very skeptical going out because she didn't know what she was going to expect. She came back and she said, Mom, I've done so many things. There are so many things we can do. And it gave me hope. It really did give me hope that our kids there will be stuff for my kids to do. You know, things that I didn't even know was inside of them. This is what it does. It awakens these gifts and these things in them that they didn't even know was in there.
And I managed to get it around and tell people. So many people are doing the workshops now that I know of. And they're telling me, oh, I'm having a really good time. They really enjoy it.
I thought it was amazing. I got to spend time on my own on the Sunday, drinking a coffee and reading the paper, and that sounds bad, but I felt so guilty for doing that, but he was enjoying himself. He loved every minute of just not being with me, whereas he needs to be with me.
They treated me like I was one of them, and they enjoyed having people there.
What I would be doing normally would probably be in my room on my phone maybe. So I think that's important because you can express yourself in many ways and it's free and sometimes people can't pay for it.
She enjoyed meeting new people, and in fact she went home and I got her a watercolour set that she got for her birthday, and she took out her own watercolour set and she painted a really nice sunset all by herself.
And I hope anybody who's listening to this video would just think about it. It's for our children. They are the future of our world. They need this.